If you're active duty or a veteran and you currently have a VA loan, there's a program you should at least understand, even if you don't use it today. It's called the VA IRRRL, sometimes referred to as the VA Streamline Refinance, and it's one of the simplest ways to improve your mortgage position if the timing's right. I'm Ryan Paquin, the VA loan coach powered by First Home Mortgage, and I want to break this down in plain English. The VA IRRRL stands for Interest Rate Reduction Refinance Loan. And the name tells you exactly what it does. It allows you to refinance your existing VA loan into a new VA loan with a lower interest rate or a better structure. Now here's where it makes it different. This is not a full refinance. There's no income verification in most cases, no appraisal required, limited documentation, and the process is typically faster and simpler. That's why it's called a streamlined refinance. But here's where I want to be clear. Just because it's easy, it doesn't mean you should do it. It still has to make sense. Let me give you a real example. My dad originally bought his home using a conventional loan many years ago, didn't know he could use his VA, and at one point he did a VA cash-out refinance to convert into a VA loan. From there, he used the VA IRRRL multiple times as rates improved. He refinanced to 6%, then again to 4%, and then again in 2021 all the way down to 2.25%. Each time we weren't starting over from scratch. We didn't need an appraisal, we waived all lender fees as we always do, and the only costs added into the loan were things like title fees and recordation taxes. It was simple, it was efficient, and it improved his position each time. That's exactly what the IRRRL is designed to do. Now, that doesn't mean you refinance every time rates move. It means when the numbers make sense, you have a tool that's easy to use. Now let's talk about what this actually is used for. The most common reason is to lower your interest rate, which reduces your monthly payment. And in some cases, buyers also use it to move from an adjustable rate to a fixed rate. So stability matters. Now here's something important. With a VA IRRRL, you're allowed to roll most of the closing costs into the loan. That means in many cases, you don't need to bring any cash to closing. But, and this matters, that doesn't mean it's free. You're financing those costs into the loan balance. So the question becomes, does the monthly savings justify the cost? That's the real conversation. So let's talk about timing. There's something called a recoupment test. The VA wants you to make sure that you're saving enough money to justify the cost. And so if you can do that in a 36-month period of time, it typically makes sense. But we have to understand, how long does it take to break even? How long do you plan on being in the property? So this protects veterans from unnecessary transactions. And here's another key point. You don't need perfect credit to use an IRRRL. And you don't need to requalify the same way you did when you bought the home. But you do need to be current on your mortgage. This is designed to improve your position, not fix a distressed one. Now let's talk about what this loan is not. This is not a cash-out refinance. You cannot pull equity out. If your goal is to access equity, that's a different loan entirely. This is strictly a rate and payment improvement tool. Now here's where a mistake happens. I see a veteran get a call or a mailer that says, drop your rate now, skip payments, lower your payment instantly. And while some of that can be true, what's often missing is the full picture. How long will you stay in the home? What's your real break-even point? What happens to your loan balance? And are you resetting your term? These are strategic questions, not marketing decisions. And here's the bottom line. The VA IRRRL is a powerful tool. It can lower your payment, it can improve your structure, and it can be done with minimal friction. But like any financial decision, it needs to be evaluated properly. If you don't want to rely on a mailer or a cold call to make that decision, text IRRRL to 443-377-1589, and I'll walk you through whether it actually makes sense for your situation. Because lowering your rate sounds good, but making the right decision is what actually matters. If you're active duty or a veteran and want to use your VA benefits strategically, you're in the right place.